Super Earth, our home. Prosperity, liberty, and democracy. Our way of life.
Mick Fraser, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm not too bad. You are a bit of a rebel. You're a rebel without a cause, actually, and you don't like. You know, you're not a man for bright white lights and angels and heaven and stuff. You like diving into hell, don't you?
It's definitely a pastime. Yeah.
That's brilliant then that you've been put on the duty of playing a game called Helldivers.
Yeah, custom made for me.
Which is now out, as people are watching and listening to this, on PS4, PS3 and Vita. Now Mick, I know very little about Helldivers. Explain the basic premise of it to me.
Okay, it's a top-down, isometric, I hate the term isometric, but it's an isometric shooter. A co-op shooter that's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a weird kind of hybrid of, I guess maybe Destiny and Dead Nation and Starship Troopers all over
This is like your dream. So this is Destiny. Is this Destiny Light? Because do you know what? In all seriousness, when I was looking at a few kind of trailers of it and stuff like that, and it does. I kind of get. Do you know? It kind of even looks like a Saturday morning cartoon version of Destiny in a way.
He's got a Destiny vibe. It's not that much like Destiny. It has a Destiny vibe. The guys have, you know, masks and futuristic armor and capes and stuff. So it's got that kind of Destiny posture into it. But it's obviously like it's a shared world thing. So it's like it's the whole game, which I'll get to. The whole game is like a global effort. So everybody's on the same side, no matter whether you're playing on PS3 or 4 or Vita. So yeah, it's got that kind of shared world thing where you sort of just drop in and you'll see people that you've seen before, and you'll form little online friendships with people, and you'll grow to fucking really hate people as well, because it's that sort of game. It's a little bit meaner spirited than Destiny. But yeah, and then it's got a lot of obviously it's not twin stick, but it's that sort of control method. So right stick will aim your gun, and left stick moves you around, and then you shoot grenades and all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of like it's quite similar to Dead Nation. So
you kind of spoke about how, like, if you're playing Helldivers or I'm playing Helldivers, there's this sort of what's the term I'm looking for? Asymmetrical multiplayer? Like, is it that type of?
Yeah.
Are we all, say, if we beat levels, does that go into some sort of big overarching thing where everyone is playing together, or what's the deal with that? So
yeah, so it's in the future, obviously, and the Earth is now called Super Earth. I'm not entirely sure why.
Did a 9-year-old come up with that name? Super Earth. All right.
I think everyone wears a cape, so I guess that might probably just slapped a big cape on it and.
Super Earth. Lovely. Okay.
In the future, Super Earth it's very much like Starship Troopers, like really, really a lot like Starship Troopers. There's even bugs in it that are exactly like the bugs in Starship Troopers. So you get this big like propaganda-y advert at the beginning about how join the Helldivers and save the universe. And so these Helldivers, this elite fighting force of humanity that are against cyborgs, bugs, and weird robot thing. They look kind of like something from Portal. They look like it's weird. But anyway, so yeah, there's these 3 alien nations. And they're trying to invade our galaxy, and we have to stop them. So you do that by travelling to all these different worlds and literally diving onto the planet in a hell pod, slamming into the planet, jumping out with your guns, and then shooting the fuck out of everything that moves.
All right.
And achieving the odd, mission objective along the way. But primarily, your job is to put bullets in things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect for Mick Fraser.
Absolutely perfect for me. I've been in hog's heaven with it, laughing my violent ass off for the last 2 days.
So what is the deal with the kind of, I don't know, the world effort of Super Earth? Are you visiting different planets and, like, saving these planets as Super Earth, and then that kind of goes towards this kind of big war that's happening on the PSN.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So every planet that you liberate, usually a planet will have, say, 2 missions on it. So you'll go onto the big galactic map and you'll choose a mission, or you'll choose a planet and you'll go to that planet, and then if you complete both the missions on the planet, you'll liberate that planet, and then you get community points which go towards a little progress bar that's on each sector of the galaxy. So the galaxy's got 3 sectors. When that bar becomes yellow, or you can do it any time, but you're best to wait till the bar's yellow so you've got enough of a community effort focused on that particular section of the galaxy, and then you can invade that particular alien race's home world and defeat them. But I'm not entirely sure, because I haven't done it yet. So I'm not entirely sure what that achieves in the overall thing. I'm sure that, we're not going to finish all 3 and then the game is just over forever. So I guess there must be some kind of...
I'm trying to remember the name of a game that I reviewed. I think it was called Hybrid, and it was on Xbox 360, and it had that same type of idea where there was a kind of a big massive war going on, and I think there were regions that you could kind of you could take over. This was a multiplayer game, so you had a blue side and a red side, and when the world was, I suppose, taken over by whichever side, it kind of just reset and it started again.
Yeah,
I'm guessing this would be something similar.
I think that's probably what happens. Yeah, like I said, I've not seen it, because what you'll have is a little countdown all the time that I think starts at, don't quote me, but it might start every time at 30 hours, and in that time you've got 30 hours globally. Everybody who's playing has got 30 hours to get that community to a certain level, those community points to a certain level, and then attack the planet. So, but like I said, I'm not sure what happens if you fail or if you succeed. I haven't actually seen that side of it yet, so I'm not entirely sure. But it's very cool, because you always feel like you're working towards something, and it's very much, like I said, a shared world. There's always other players around. Is
there any competitive multiplayer, or is it all co-op?
that depends on your point of view. So the main game, the Galactic Campaign, say if you're playing alone anyway, unless you happen to have people you're playing with you at the time, you'll start the game. Say, for instance, you start the game alone, you pick a level, you jump into your hell pod, you dive onto the planet, you get out. At any point during that time, somebody could go to the multiplayer menu inside, because you start on a little ship, like the bridge of a ship, and then you've got the campaign on one side, multiplayer on the other side, an armory to upgrade your weapons and such, and then an encyclopedia, and that's your little hub. It's like a tiny little space to walk around in. So if you go to the Galactic Campaign and you go down solo, and then somebody else goes to the multiplayer, there'll be a little drop-down menu with all the games that are currently playing that haven't got all 4 Helldivers in them. And then you can just pick whichever one you want, and click join, and then you'll jump into your hell pod, and then so you could just be playing quite happily on your own. And if you leave the online settings to public, someone at any point can just drop into your game and give you a hand.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, the primary function of that is teamwork. So there's no real competitive multiplayer. The thing is that Helldivers is really, really, really mean, and it leaves friendly fire on all the time.
Okay.
So if you can imagine the sort of the frantic madness of a top-down or an isometric shooter anyway, and then imagine that if you stray into the path of someone's bullets, your head's going to explode, just like that bit in Starship Troopers when the guy takes his helmet off. Boom.
And have you been the subject of wrath?
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah,
okay.
I was playing last night and I really, really upset someone. There's a thing that you can unlock where, let me just explain quickly. You have these things called stratagems. And so when you're down in the thick of it, if you want more ammo, or you want, say, a stationary turret to help you out, or you want you can put a beacon down so that you prioritise yourself for people to join your game, or whatever. There's I think there's about 30 of these stratagems, not sure exactly. They call in airstrikes and things. So you press the left bumper, or the left trigger, and then you do a little D-pad, up, down, left, right, right, left, up, down.
I'm with you.
And then it takes however many seconds it takes, and then it slams into the ground next to you, and you've got your resupply or your ally or whatever you've just called in. And one of the things that you have to be aware of is that if you're not paying attention and you've got 4 guys running around calling these drops in, they will kill you if they hit you in like a real big messy splat.
Wonderful.
You can even get crushed by the evac ship when it lands to pick you up. So, which is really infuriating. So yeah, and anyway, one of these things you can call down is a mech suit. So I called a mech suit down.
A la Titanfall.
Yeah, so yeah, I called a mech suit down and I got in it, and this guy was running around next to me without a mech suit, and he fell over. And I thought, well, I'll go and revive him, because you can revive your teammates. But I didn't get out of the mech suit, so all I did really was tread on his face.
Wonderful.
Which popped like an overripe zit, and then... Yeah, and then he was dead. And so I thought, I feel really bad now. So I jumped out of the mech suit and I called him down, because you can do a stratagem and resupply your troops. So I thought I'll call him back down, and he landed straight down and then just proceeded to shoot me for the entire rest of the match. Like,
little fucking shit.
Just wanted to grief me for the entire game. But I had a mech suit and he didn't, so he kept doing it, and I just kept killing him, and then somebody else kept bringing him back, and he kept doing it again. And in the end, we just had to kick him. But yeah, so there is potential for griefers, and they are quite annoying. And if don't fucking stand in the way of a giant mech suit.
Yeah, exactly. Mick, your heart was in the right place. You were trying to revive him, and yeah, I mean, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, Mick, I'm probably taking up too much of your time when you should be going to shoot other things in the face. So
yeah, far too many things running around with no bullet holes in their faces right now.